Oh my gosh, we're having a baby and we're 20 weeks along.
That means we're halfway there.
Halfway there.
Dear Christmas, I want you so.
Do we feel, is this one of those videos where we feel more confident?
Maybe. No, this is the first time we're making a video that we're like out in the open.
Yes, we've come out of the pregnancy closet. And how does it feel? We know the gender.
It's a boy.
It's a boy. We just found out my brother's having a boy about a month and a half after us.
Yep.
So there's safety in numbers. We can make them wrestle it out.
It says, your baby is as big as a sweet potato.
Okay.
That's pretty big.
I like a good sweet potato.
6.5 inches, 10 ounces.
We've also just learned the term flutter, which to me feels like the movement before kicking.
Yeah, before like strong kicks. They say that some people start feeling flutters around 18 weeks, but I don't know if we felt flutters yet. I've definitely, I've been sitting with my hands on my belly and I feel stuff, but I'm also not sure if it's gas bubbles or if it's flutter, but that's exactly what people say is is it gas or is it flutters? So I really don't know.
We haven't been to the doctor in at least 2 weeks, right? Maybe 4.
Longer. I think probably almost 6. I mean, I guess we have the videos to know when the last time we were there. But I think, the last time we were in, he was like, okay, I'll see you guys in a while. And he told me to make this appointment and that appointment. And,
But we've seen little movement, but I expect the baby to look way more developed.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty wild. And it's wild whenever you see these photos, they always show the baby floating in space. You've got organs there.
Yeah. They're pretty squished, actually, I think. I think it's a pretty tight living space.
I know, it's, they say it like this, but it's probably more
I feel like it's probably like being under a weighted blanket.
Constant pressure?
Yeah, a little bit of pressure, but in that comfortable way, not the uncomfortable way.
And we also learned that the baby's producing that milky sheet that's going to surround that... Vernix, and that's covering the baby to protect it from what? Your stomach acid?
The amniotic fluid.
No.
So it doesn't come out looking all pruny. If you sit in a bath too long, you get all pruny, so it protects their skin.
And sometimes these babies are birthed with it still intact, on them. And sometimes I think...
Yeah, especially if they're a little early, I think. Yeah, and there's definitely different schools of thought about whether or not you should bathe it off of them right away or let it stay for a few days.
I want to share a fun moment. We released a video, so this is going to be meta because this is us talking about content, right? But we released the last video, which was the fact that we lost the house we wanted to buy. Even though that was a tough video, it ended with you crying, me a little bit, leaky, cutting onions. I caught you in bed reading all the comments.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was really nice. I mean, I was getting emotional all over again. All of the commenters were so supportive and just saying it happened to us too. Don't worry, when one door closes, another opens, a better house is waiting for you. It just means it wasn't the one, which is exactly all the things that we had been telling ourselves.
But you're also pregnant, hormonal.
Yeah, I've been crying a lot the past few months.
Plus, it's been it was very stressful, dealing with the finances and all the other aspects to it. But what people have to realize is that was early October. Right?
I have no idea.
That was early October, so that was 2 months ago. Okay. So my point being is that we got to watch back, and I watch it, and I get emotional as I edit, because as I'm watching it, I'm also reliving all of these powerful emotions that we felt, because, it's not like we're just trying to find ourselves our first home.
Yeah.
And we talk about all the struggles and studio apartment living and minimum wage jobs and all those little things that are just rungs.
It's been a very long road, and we both really do not like to fall trapped to be like trapped by cynicism, but it's a tough world out there. And I know it's not just tough for us, but it is. This particular buying our first home is a little bit tougher because a lot of our peers managed to buy their first home years ago. We've been living in big cities and apartments. And
we missed the wave, and we've been sitting in the oceans.
We missed a window of affordability on home buying, and that, you know, everything, all in perfect timing has been our mantra for this year. All in perfect timing. So it's okay, but it's overwhelming when prices are sky high, interest rates are record high, affordability is so low,
and you're giving up your income.
I'm giving up my income, and we're looking across the country in a place neither of us has ever lived, specifically because of affordability, because it's not possible for us to buy here in LA. So it's definitely overwhelming. We're pregnant. There's just so much happening at once that it feels monumental. It feels like we are literally like,
it's a lot.
Oh man.
But it's but we've been able to handle it. I mean, we got an email from, you know, someone, financial stuff that we had to go through, and it probably put you in a panic attack mode because it seemed like a lot. But what did we do? We just tackled it one thing. Like, we've always been able to rise up to the priorities that exist. And I'm looking at this going, you're going to lose your income, which, by the way, your income used to be the big income, and I was the scrappy one, right? And like, we always had your income. Now it's all on me. And you've done a good job of picking up the slack in other areas so I can keep on making content and doing all those things. But it's kind of become, I mean, I don't know if it's brought us closer together, but it's definitely created a different vibe in the last month of you not working. Would you agree?
It's been really nice, actually. I mean, it's, well, two things. Pregnancy is a lot. It really is a lot. And I understand that, like, it's a common thing. You know what I mean? Lots of people do it. All of us were born. You know what I mean? Like, all of our mothers did it.
You looked at yourself in the mirror last night like you wanted to fight yourself.
Oh,
I was I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. It's... Oh, here we go. We got another...
Waterworks once
Leave
a
day. A comment. Tell us, talk.
It's hard to, like, everything's changing, even your body. It's...
You're worried about your boobs. I mean, it's not superficial.
It's just
you want
none of my clothes fit. It's like, it makes you really insecure. You, like, the way that you stand up even is like, you can't even, like, get up normal.
Your ribs are changing.
Yeah, you're in pain all the time, and like, your body looks so different, and it's happening rapidly.
It's okay. But here's where I have to remind you, and not to minimize your feelings. You're not loved because of your looks, and your looks aren't going away. Your body's a miracle factory, and it's going to return to a new normal, which is going to be loved.
Yeah,
Imagine
it's really, it's less of a vanity thing. It's more of, it's just a lot. It's just a lot.
But it's okay. It's okay if it is partly vanity. I mean, you literally lost your job, a vain job that required you to be a certain size. So, like, there are ramifications to being pregnant.
But on top of, like, looking completely different, you feel completely different. You know, I have to make some Instagrams about this, like the things that they don't really tell you about pregnancy, or even if they do tell you, like the stuff that you don't really know.
Tell us about your sneeze last night.
Oh my, I peed on myself. Like, I woke up in the middle of the night to go pee, and I sneezed on the way out the door. Like, if I have not an empty bladder and I sneeze, or if I, like, gag because I'm still throwing up,
and I'm like, we need to get you diapers or a Claritin, something.
Like, and I get, like, they show anatomy of, like, how your uterus, I guess, kind of expands on top of your bladder. So I get that this is, like, just part of it, but still, it's like, this baby hasn't even come yet, and I'm already having a little leak.
What I love is that we're gonna have, like, the hardy, war vet moms that would be like, peeing's
wait.
going to be the least of your issues. Wait till you have a skid mark after a, you know. It's like, all right,
won't
all
tell
right.
me. But yeah, it's just you just feel so different in your body. It just I don't know, and maybe I personally have like a little bit of extra PTSD about it because of like my Lyme journey and just like, you know, feeling not like yourself. It's just a lot.
From Lyme disease.
Yeah.
Having all of the issues that come with that.
Yeah, and like the nausea and just being persistent and all of that is, it's so unpredictable, and like your energy is so unpredictable.
I thought the nausea was doing better.
The nausea is 1,000 times better, but
you still yacked this morning.
Yeah, I threw up this morning. Yesterday I was extremely nauseous. Like it's still it's still a little, it's 1,000 times better. It's so much better. Before it was like risk of barfing in the morning, but like kind of constant all day nausea, waves of nausea. And now it's like not everyday nausea, but it's still really strong nausea, particularly in the mornings, maybe like 2 days a week or so. You know, I've been doing like more meals for us because obviously you're doing a second episode now in the evening, so I've been taking care of dinners and I have the time and energy for it. But like this morning, you know, we had someone coming over and the house was not in bad condition. All it needed was like the sort of morning upkeep, right? Which in your mind is like very minimal, just like the everyday stuff, like make the bed, just do like a kind of like a once over, like a very light, like wipe up the countertops and do the dusting and whatever, unload the dishwasher and put in the dirty dishes.
But on a time crunch with other stuff.
You know, we only had an hour and a half to get that stuff done, and I told you while you were working, like, I don't think I can do all of this by myself in an hour and a half. Like, what time do you think you'll be done? And so for the last half hour, you were able to help me. But it's just, you don't, like, I think because you and I both had, you know, until a month and a half ago, we're doing paid work, and I had a very full daily schedule. Like, it really just wasn't on our priority list to, like, have a morning clean or like an evening clean every night. Yeah. And now that I do have the time for it, I am noticing like how much like time in particular each of these tasks take. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It helps me out a lot. And it's kind of
putting more of a like a value on like a monetary value on these types of things now that I'm the one that's primarily handling them.
Well, like we said, for our audience that follows what the content we make, I decided to make morning and afternoon podcasts with other content, and you know that it's a product of I got to get those out the door, and they'll make money. And if you're waiting on me for dinner, that's just a whole next. You know what I mean? So I think we're on week 3 of that, and I think we're doing a really good job of communicating. There's been a few times where I've forgotten I had a podcast to record, and we're like sitting on the couch, and I'm like, There's been a few moments, but I get to go in the other room. I do find value in doing it, even when I'm tired. And you know, you might be in the other room taking care of stuff, and once we have the baby, maybe it'll be you and the baby take a bath while I make the podcast, or whatever it'll be. I don't want it to be you taking care of the baby and I'm not. It'll just be, this is the work that I get to do that frees you up from needing to return to work.
But the thing that I have been really enjoying about this period, because it is brand new for us, and we had kind of fantasized about this, you know, me taking a step back from like my really intensive jobs, like hours wise, and being able to have like the spare time and the spare energy to focus on more creative work. But there's obviously been this transition period where we're just getting used to the new schedule, and then also we have all this other stuff going on all at once right now. But I'm starting to we're starting to get comfortable in our new schedule, and I'm really enjoying the flexibility that we have to be able to do stuff where we need each other. We never really had that before. We had to like schedule out the time.
Oh, there's nothing worse than if you come home from work at 4 and I have to go out to a mic at 4:30,
And
I'm
we're
like,
squeezing in the stuff that we have to do
so
together.
this will help out when we're all. I mean, it sounds selfish to say, but the fact that you're now not working means you can line up more towards the things we have to do, and then it creates space. Like today, I haven't missed a doctor's appointment with you, and I don't say that from a point of pride, but imagine all the people, all the dads out there that don't get to go because it's like, do you want to waste your sick days going to the doctor's appointment when you're going to need to save those for when the baby's actually sick? Oh, terrible to think of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we go to the meeting with our doctor and then we'll come back and give the update?
Sure, that sounds
good.
Yeah.
And we'll have another video thumbnail of you crying. So be it. Hey, the videos perform better when Tasha's crying.
It's silly. It's just everything makes me emotional these days.
It's okay. Keep feeling it. All right, we'll be back.
Did you see those? Are those feet?
Yes, all the limbs. Let me measure the head right now. I'm going to show you some good pictures. This is a whole different ball game for you.
Wow.
All you can see is ribs.
Okay.
Is that his spine?
Yes,
Wow.
ribs and spine. Can you give you that? You're measuring perfectly.
Oh, how exciting.
Well, good news is good news. Our baby is happy. Well, we don't know. Maybe he's not happy. He's like, get me out of here. But he's healthy. All measurements are lining up.
Yeah, right on track.
As you will see from the video we are overlaying, they measured his head. I don't know why. Good size head.
He's growing at the right pace.
And we saw his little baby spine.
Yeah.
Well, how did that feel seeing that? You were smiling ear to ear.
Yeah, it was really cute.
Oh, good?
Yeah, it looks more like a person now.
Well, I have a surprise for you.
What?
I know you were feeling a little glum about moving and not getting into the Christmas spirit. So I thought I'd take you by the Christmas tree farm.
Really?
Get you a Christmas tree.
We're really gonna get a Christmas tree?
Let's go get a Christmas tree.
Are we gonna decorate it?
We're gonna decorate it.
Okay.
Now, Tasha didn't want to do this. I'm not a monster, but we are moving a few weeks after Christmas, but I think we can afford an extra hour or two of setting up a tree and taking it down.
Okay.
Are you gonna cry again?
Maybe.
Let's go get your Christmas tree, all right? You're easy to get crying these days. I'm like, honey, I got you a nice coffee. You're like, really? A nice coffee from me? We're doing it. We're doing Christmas. Christmas is back on! Let's yell that, and then I'll cut to some music.
We already have so little space in our house right now with all the packing.
Let's do this. Let's yell, Christmas is back on. And as we say that, it'll cut to some Christmas music. You ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Christmas is
back
on!
on!
Oh, it's time for Christmas. Oh, it's time for us. Oh, it's time for Christmas.
Smells so
Don't
good
you
in
know?
here.
Oh, it's time for Christmas. Oh, it's time for us. Oh, it's time for Christmas. Don't you know? 365 chances of the year.
All right, where I come from in New England, we call this the old left-hand Larry. Just grab it right there. I don't know.
Wow. That's impressive.
It's time to take us.
Good tree you found here.
Yeah, it's a nice tree.
$165.